One of the greatest tests that we had in Jewish history was, if somebody would say, what was the greatest test? What would you say? Jack, what would you say? Chamabadi, what would you say? Angie? No takers. Mike? Aye, come on. So, first of all, one of the first tests of our forefathers was Avraham Avinu. Now you have to understand something very, very clear right now, I'm telling you. Think about it. Imagine Hashem says to you, by the way, from this son is going to come the whole Jewish nation. You're going to have Ki be'Yitzhak yikra lecha zera. So from Yitzhak, you're going to have the zera, and you're going to have your continuation. And he guaranteed it, Hashem guaranteed it. And imagine a person waited so many years.
100 years.
To finally have Yitzhak. His wife was barren for so many years. Imagine all the tefillot, imagine all the prayers, imagine everything. Think about it for a second. Imagine a person, he's married hospital 3 years with no children, he starts flipping out. He starts going crazy. Doctors, rabbis, this, that. They go crazy for years. And finally, Abraham, after so many years, decades of years, his wife couldn't have children, and finally they have a child, and this is it. What does it say? You have to sacrifice the child, do akedat Yitzhak on the child. I mean, if you think about it logically, it's crazy. Because part of the thing was, Abraham was fighting the people not to kill their child to the Avodah Zarah of Molech. There was Avodah Zarah called Molech, right? And they would take the child, they would sacrifice it to the child. They would sacrifice their child into fire with this Avodah Zarah. Now imagine Abraham is telling everybody not to do that, not to do that. And he does it himself. Go sacrifice his child. Of course, he's not sacrificing to Molech, he's sacrificing to Hashem. But at the end of the day, what are people going to talk? What are people going to say? So think about the factors right now. Factor is, he couldn't have children for many years. Him and his wife. Finally, they have one child. He's hot. One child. Secondly is, people, what are they going to talk about him after? Thirdly is, that was the lineage where Hashem promised that all Jewish people are going to come from. It's hot. What would you do if you were Abraham?
He was fighting the people that was fighting.
And even now, another fourth thing think about it, after the whole thing, Sarai Menu dies right after. And Satan tells him he died because she had a heart attack because she thought that you were killing Yitzhak. Now he has to what? He might have to, now what would he, a normal person, he will regret it. Oh my goodness, what did I do? My wife died. Maybe it wasn't the right thing. Maybe it was the right thing. Maybe I did Pikuah Nefesh. Maybe I didn't Pikuah Nefesh. Her death was going to happen either way. But she was supposed to die that time. She passed away that time. Now, how are people saying that she passed away? Oh, she had a heart attack hearing that Yitzhak passed away. So what's Abraham's reaction? She had a heart attack, Yitzhak said, what do I do? You understand what's going on? The Yetzer Hara plays many tricks. So the odds against all that is 1 in a billion. If you are Abraham, imagine you're in Abraham's shoes. Imagine you are in Abraham Avinu's shoes. What would you do? What would you really do? Not having children, tons of years, sacrifice, so many things going, odds are going against you. Would you go ahead and sacrifice your son? You know what the answer is? Maybe you would. Maybe. I'm just saying, there's some person out there that would say, no, Rabbi, I would do it. No problem, you would. But this, I don't know if you would do. This, I don't know, what's the next thing I'm going to tell him? Would you, Hashem says tomorrow, go do it. Would you go tomorrow, first thing in the morning? Or would you do it at the end of the day? Enjoy your son. Tell your son, Habibi, this might be the last day me and you together. Let's take a walk. Let's have a breakfast together. Let's do this. Let's do that. Oh my goodness. The last day. Okay, at the end of the day, before it comes Tzeta Kochavim, before the end of the day, okay, now let's do it, I'll do it. Maybe that's what we do. But what does the Torah teach us? Vayashkem Avraham baboker. You know what's going on? It says Avraham woke up early in the morning. First thing in the AM. First thing. He's ready to go do it. Why? If this was Hashem wants, I will do it as soon as He wants it as well. No games. See, when we have a mitzvah, it's something called Zerizin Maktimin LeMizvot. To show the love of Hashem that you have for Him, you have to do it as soon as possible. We don't wait. That's how much love, that's how you show Hashem the love that you have for Him. You understand? It's like a person, he's going out he's getting engaged to a girl, right? How careful is he to be there always on time, picking her up, this, that. He's there, exact and prompt. And this is what he's telling you over here. That what? That shows the love. If you pick up the girl late, let's say you're going out with a girl, you pick her up late, another time late, another day. Doesn't seem like you really care so much about her. You know what I'm saying? Like, you might do, you might not, but at the end of the day, you keep on picking her up. You know, your future mother-in-law is looking at you like, what's going on? Do you like my daughter? You don't like my daughter. You tell her a time, you come back 2 hours later. You know what I'm saying? An hour and a half later, 45 minutes later. One guy told me that what? He was going out with a girl. He went out with her for many dates. Finally, she broke up with him. She said, Rabbi, I didn't do nothing wrong. I said, what's going on? Found out. I called her. It was going. No, everything was fine, Rabbi. So what happened? It doesn't look like he cares about my daughter. I said, why not? Every time he tells her a time, he comes 45 minutes late. He doesn't love my daughter. I told my daughter, break it. You know, you show love when you're there on time. You show love when you're there, when you're this, when you're that. You're prompt. How do you show Hashem's love? When you're loving Hashem, you're saying right away, this is what Hashem wants. This is what I'm going to do right away. You don't delay. You don't delay. And this is the lesson of Abraham. What do we see? We see our rabbis teach us in Masechet Pesachim, Davdal Amurav, Zerizin Makdimin the mitzvot. You have a mitzvah in front of your face, you run and you do it. No games. What does it say? Al tachmitzena. Don't make it hametz. Hametz rises. You have a mitzvah, run away. The Mesilah Yesharim says, what is the greatest danger that a person faces in his lifetime? What would you say? The greatest danger. You know what he says? Delaying a mitzvah. Delaying a mitzvah. You know why? Because if you postpone a mitzvah, you might not do it after. And if you might not do it after, you lost eternity forever and ever and ever and ever and ever. The problem is we don't realize what we're missing out on when we do a mitzvah. But if we would never miss a mitzvah. That's what he's telling you over here. Even though it was very hard for him to sacrifice his only son, still he did it, but he did it in the morning early to show you how much love I had for Hashem. If a person does his mitzvot, what, with alacrity, with swiftness, this is a proof that he loves Hashem. Where do we see this? Another thing is by Moshe Rabbeinu. Moshe Rabbeinu was supposed to die right before he goes into Israel. So now he had a mitzvah. What was the mitzvah? To split the Arei Miklat. Right? To split 3 past Eve Yaden and 3 in Israel. But he couldn't go into Israel. But as soon as he did his 3 outside of Israel, outside of Eve Yaden, then what do? They go into Israel. But this is what Hashem wanted. He did it right away. But he knows if he does it, that means they're going to go into Israel faster. You get it or no? You had 6 Arei Miklat. 3 outside of Israel, 3 in Israel. So right now, if Hashem tells Moshe, I need you to build me 3 Arei Miklat, 3 cities of refuge. So now if he does it right away, what happens is, Bnei Israel is going to go into Israel faster as well. So Moshe Rabbeinu did not postpone. So this is what Hashem wants, this is what's going to happen right away. See, this is the love that a person has to have. He has to be crazy in love with a God. You have to be crazy in love with Hashem. You ever see that guy who's crazy in love with his fiance? I mean, don't get me wrong, it'll last maybe to the engagement. Jack's giving extra credit. It lasts a few days after marriage, you know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I know the people over here that's listening, they're like, Rabbi, what are you talking about? At the end of the day, I'm still single. Yeah, don't worry, marriage is beautiful. It's the most beautiful thing. Don't get me wrong, it's the most beautiful thing. But you see the love that a person has when he's engagement. His engagement is all he's thinking about. You know, the girl texts him, oh, you know, by the way, I'm in the mood for a Slurpee, whatever it is, there's that, 2 o'clock in the morning. You see the guy running 2 o'clock, like, I'm surprising you, and he goes in front of the house. I want to see 5 years after marriage. She says in the middle, excuse me, I'm thirsty. Could you get me a cup of water downstairs from the fridge? Honey, I'm dead tired. Don't wake me up. Huh? I want to see that happen. Huh? Listen, don't get me wrong. The husbands that can do that, Ashrehem v'Asher Chalkehem, you know, it's amazing. It's a school out to be rich when you respect your wife. But at the end of the day, you get my point. The guy's infatuated with love and the engagement. Within the engagement, all he's thinking about is his fiance. What can I get her? Everywhere he walks, he's thinking, what can I buy her? This, that. You know, and then she's also going infatuated with him. Oh, he starts making him forget about it. Cupcakes and cookies for Shabbat, and she sends him the lahamajin that she knows how to make, and the ashpalo, whatever if that is, and all these different crazy dishes. How come after he gets married he doesn't get the same treatment? Where's the wine and dine that you put me in the beginning? You know. All right. At the end of the day, you see what I'm talking about. You see that at the end of the day. The love of Hashem, we have to be infatuated with the love of Hashem. Infatuated means so addicted to the love of Hashem that everything that He tells us we have to be zariz right away. I'm excited to learn. I'm excited to pray. I'm excited to dress modest. You know, sometimes it's summertime. Some girls, some ladies out there might be, oh, it's too hot. Let me go a little shorter. Let me this, let me that. No, be excited. You're doing the will of Hashem. The Gaon Mevilna said, one of the greatest mitzvot for a lady is tzniut. A lady has to know that. She has to be happy. In the morning when she's dressed in modesty, oh, she wakes up, I'm excited. Just like the guy is excited to put on tefillin in the morning, the lady also has to be excited. She's what? She's dressing properly. She's dressing properly. And that's her dignified manner. And that's the ratzon that he wants. That's the ratzon Hashem. We see over here, ומי שעושה מעשה בזיזות, כעבד האוהב את העולם, כי הזות תלויה בלב האדם, כמובן במחשבות האחרות, שדור במחשבה אחת. He says, how do we see a person's laser focused? When you love something, you're laser focused. How many times people, when they were younger, I'm sure it happened to many of us, maybe I'm wrong, but many of us here, where the principal, the teacher says he has ADD, ADHD, this. You know what I'm talking about, right? We have to give him Ritalin, we have to calm him down. He doesn't know how to sit, he can't sit, right? He can't focus. Take that same kid, put him in front of a video game that he loves. He'll be there for hours focused. Take that same kid, tell him to count a bag of money. Tell him, listen, I want you to tell me, focus on the bag of money, but the second you lose focus, whatever you count, that's how much you're going to get. But the second you lose focus, I'm taking away. The rest I'm taking away. So you have bags of money, 2 bags, 3 bags, and he's counting hundreds, 100, 200, 300, 400. I guarantee you, he will not lose focus maybe for hours. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Why? He's laser focused on things that he loves. When we see that you love Hashem, you'll see you're laser focused. All what you want to do is see how fast I can get the job done for Hashem. Stop there.